How could Jesus promise to be present with his followers always? Welcome to our exploration of one of the most comforting promises in Christianity, Jesus' assurance that he will be with his followers always. This tremendous promise comes from Matthew 28:20, where Jesus declares, "I am with you always, to the end of the age." Join us as we delve into the depths of this promise, unraveling its meaning and significance for believers today. In the constantly shifting sands of daily life, Jesus' promise stands firm, a beacon of comfort and hope. For believers, the assurance of his constant presence is more than words. It's a lifeline that provides spiritual grounding. Understanding why this promise resonates so deeply helps us appreciate its profound impact on faith. To truly grasp the weight of Jesus' promise, we need to consider its theological underpinnings. This leads us to the concept of divine omnipresence, an attribute of God that signifies his presence everywhere at all times. By promising his perpetual presence, Jesus was articulating a truth about his divine nature. Omnipresence may sound complex, but it simply means that God is not bound by physical space or time. Jesus, through his divine nature, can remain with all believers, irrespective of their geographical location or era. A vital aspect of understanding Christ's omnipresence is his relationship with the Holy Spirit. After Jesus' ascension, the Holy Spirit was sent to continue his work on earth. This Spirit acts as the conduit through which Jesus' promise is fulfilled, making his presence felt within the hearts of believers. Jesus' promise transcends the limitations of time and space, an assertion that reassures followers that he is worldwide and timeless in his support. This means that no matter where or when believers are, they can confidently turn to him. Understanding the historical backdrop of Jesus' declaration enhances its depth. Made to his disciples after his resurrection, this promise provided comfort to the early Christians who faced uncertainty and adversity. It was an assurance of constant support through burgeoning challenges. Fast forward to today, and this promise still holds incredible relevance. In our fast-paced world filled with uncertainties, knowing that Jesus' presence is unyielding lends immense strength to his followers. The promise is as vital today as it was for the fledgling church. Over time, various scholars have interpreted Matthew 28:20, offering diverse perspectives that enhance our understanding. These interpretations enrich our faith, providing a more rounded view of what Jesus' promise entails for his followers throughout history. With profound promises can come misunderstandings. Some may misinterpret omnipresence as a mere theological claim, devoid of personal meaning. However, understanding it as a practical, living promise is essential for true belief. The power of Jesus' promise reverberates through countless personal testimonies. Stories of faith, where individuals feel Jesus' presence in palpable ways, underscore how this promise manifests in real life. Consider Mary, who faced immense personal struggle but found comfort in prayer. It was during her darkest nights that she felt Christ's calming presence, guiding her decisions and granting her peace. Or think of John, who navigated financial turmoil. Despite the storm, he discovered solace and direction by relying on the promise that Jesus stood by his side throughout. Not only do individuals experience Jesus' presence, but whole communities find strength in it. Gathered in worship or service, Christians often express their collective faith, embracing the promise of Jesus' omnipresence as a shared blessing among their brethren. This promise isn't just a comforting word, it's a call to spiritual maturation. By trusting Jesus' presence, believers are encouraged to grow spiritually, pursuing deeper connections with Christ and each other, ultimately leading to a more enriched spiritual life. How then can believers truly experience this presence? Through deliberate actions, like prayer and reflection, they can sharpen their spiritual antennae, creating environments where they more readily recognize and embrace Jesus' presence. Prayer and meditation serve as powerful tools for recognizing Jesus' presence. By making space for these practices in daily life, believers can cultivate a constant awareness of Christ, finding peace and direction in his assurances. Scriptures offer a conduit to feeling Jesus' presence. Selecting and meditating on key verses that emphasize his promise can enrich one's spiritual life, providing reassurance in moments of doubt. Life's adversities test faith, but Jesus' unyielding presence provides unparalleled comfort. His promise ensures followers that they are never alone, allowing them to navigate obstacles with greater resilience and hope. Trust is crucial. Believers are encouraged to build their faith, leaning on Jesus' promise as a source of strength in trials. This foundation in trust transforms faith from abstract belief to active reliance. In the words of this promise lies the heart of encouragement and hope, a divine presence that reassures believers they are guided and loved, sparking hope and resilience in a world filled with uncertainty. Peace emerges when this promise is embraced. Assurance comes from knowing Jesus is perpetually present, providing balance and quietude amidst life's storms, helping believers remain steadfast and calm. From mundane daily tasks to complex life decisions, Jesus' presence can be experienced and recognized. Believers find that by inviting his presence into their lives, they more clearly see his influence and guidance. Community amplifies the experience of divine presence. Fellowship gatherings in Jesus' name reinforce his promise, creating spaces where believers feel connected and spiritually rejuvenated. The church serves as a foundational place where Jesus' presence is celebrated. Worship, in its many forms, creates a sacred atmosphere that reinforces the reality of his presence in communal life. Reflective practices invite believers to pause and ponder the mystery of Jesus' promise. These quiet moments deepen their understanding and appreciation for this divine truth, encouraging meaningful spiritual engagement. Jesus' presence has the power to transform, turning trials into triumphs. This transformative power is evidenced by countless stories of changed lives moved from despair to hope, from lost to found, by simply trusting in this promise. Ultimately, Jesus' promise of presence is deeply interwoven with the message of hope and salvation. His presence is not just for the now, but is a testament to the eternal connection and salvation offered to believers. Each believer is called to venture deeper into spiritual relationships. By actively engaging with Jesus' presence, believers strengthen their bonds with him, embracing a more profound spiritual journey. In conclusion, the promise of Jesus' omnipresence in Matthew 28:20 is not just a comforting notion, but a cornerstone of faith. It reassures believers of his divine companionship, encouraging them to live boldly, love deeply, and trust fully in his promise. As you reflect on what you've learned, consider how you can integrate this promise into your life. Share this assurance with others, and explore how embracing Jesus' presence can transform your spiritual journey. Let this promise be the light that guides your faith, shaping your path with the reassuring knowledge that you are never alone. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. May you find peace and strength in the ever-present love of Jesus.